Hello! So, my friend Natea is having a Met Gala birthday party. Amazing idea. More people should have Met Gala parties. It's too fun. Natea's party is themed heavenly bodies like Met Gala 2018 because 2019 Camp Met Gala was a disaster. More on that later. And I have all night to make my crown. And I don't feel like going out and getting supplies, so I'm just going to use whatever random stuff I have in my house to make a badass goddess crown. So let's get started.
So here are all the supplies we're going to need for today's project. For the spikes on the crown, I'm going to use these wooden skewers that have been in my kitchen drawer for at least forever. And I actually stole this flower wreath from the centerpiece at my prom, so yay, upcycling! And of course, you're going to need your standard craft supplies such as scissors, paintbrushes, paints, paint palettes, and a classic trusty glue gun. And now we're going to start by prepping our paints. I have black, white, and gold here. And the paint palette's a little dirty just because it's well used and well loved. And now I'm just adding a base coat of white over all the wooden skewers to make sure that the gold looks brighter. And once they're all dry, now we go on to the gold layer. Now, metallic paints are actually pretty thin, so I would recommend globbing a bunch on at a time. And now we have our gold spikes all ready. Now, while those are drying, let's go on to the flowers. I start by picking them off one by one until I have all the individual flowers, and then we're just going to start painting them all black. Now, the fabric on the fake flowers actually soaks up quite a bit of the paint, so I would apply the paint from the outside in and make sure to get in all the nooks and crannies. That's a fun word to say, nooks and crannies. And while I'm painting the flower, can we talk about how weird this year's Met Gala theme was? Like, it seemed straightforward, camp, but a lot of celebrities played it safe. And my personal theory is that they were just too afraid to look too ridiculous or too strange looking because it's camp, so they just went with whatever looked pretty or whatever made them look good. But to give credit where credit is due, here are my top 10 favorite Met Gala looks from this year. Zendaya serving Disney Channel royalty, Jordan Roth embodying my entire love of theater, Ezra Miller giving dapper spider vibes, Lily Collins serving 60s Ghost Bride, Janelle Monáe being Janelle Monáe, Haley Steinfeld as a living pop art character, Serena Williams, resident tennis goddess, Lena Waithe serving Truth, Billy Porter serving historically accurate Egyptian royalty, and last but not least, Lupita Nyong'o as the best acid trip embodied in a person. Alright, where was I? Okay, let's see how the flowers are doing. Alright, so a couple minutes later, the flowers look like this, my hands look like this, and just to be fancy, I've decided to line all the petals in a nice gold accent. Once the flowers are finished drying, I'm just going to arrange them around this plain headband just to get an idea of how I want them all to look together before I glue them. Quick camera change for this next step. Don't mind the eyeshadow. I got some palettes for my graduation party, so I was just testing it out. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm just lining the skewers to see how big and how tall I want all of them to rest on my crown. And once I have an idea of that, I'm just going to make a score around where I want them to be and then cut them with scissors. Next, I'm just lining the skewers onto the crown like I did with the flowers to get an idea of where I want them to be spaced. And once I'm happy with it, it's time to whip out this bad boy and start gluing all of them onto the headband very carefully. Don't want to mess with hot glue, it's super hot, but I recommend globbing a lot on to make sure that they're all stable. The spikes are all on and they're massive. I swear I could use these as an antenna and pick up radio signals from like miles away. And finally, all we have to do is just glue on the rest of the flowers onto the headband. And it looks like this. It looks so cool. I love it. Okay, I was feeling a bit fancy, so I took this old piece of fabric from my prom dress that I made, just a scrap piece of fabric that I am cutting not straight, which is annoying, but it's fine. And I'm just going to make a little veil out of it by hot gluing and gathering it to the back of the headband. And I'm not being as precise as I normally would just because it's really late that when I started doing this project, and I was very tired and ready to just have it be done. Now the final few steps are just to trim on the rest of the fraying fabric, and I found these little sequins from my craft supply stash, and I'm just going to add a couple more of them to make it extra sparkly and glam. Time for the reveal. Cue montage.
Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm thinking of posting once a month, hopefully. That's my goal because I'm moving to New York and going to college soon, and I don't know if I'll have enough time to be making videos, but hopefully one video a month is manageable for me on a college schedule. So, I'll see you next time.